The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tastes just like candy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Ask for Candy, the official podcast for fabulous single city women. And who I am Candace Harper, lovecoach.com, honey, coming to you live from the V Club Happy Hour. Say what's up, ladies. I teach and inspire audacious intimacy to powerful, professional, grown women who want real relationships from seductive singlehoods. And more importantly, I help single city women over 35 who have given up on love discover their passions and purpose and stop getting ghosted. Who doesn't love that, right? And we're coming to you live from the V Club. I'm so excited to report the V Club is a gorgeous, gorgeous venue. And for those of you who are listening on audio, it's like we're on the inside of a Tiffany's box. It's like one of my most favorite places to be. It's in the heart of Chelsea, and it's a place where women and men can take classes, workshops, and attend events around sex and relationships. So if you're out in the listening world, please, please, please come to the V Club. If you're anywhere in the New York tri-state area, come and take classes, learn. It's wonderful. If you are out there, you're listening on your TuneIn app, on your smart device, and Armed Radio, or maybe you're in the garden or armedradioglobal.com. I see people coming in on the Facebook Live. I see my Lee, my unofficial co-host. What's up, Lee, who was my guest last week? I see BWC. Now, I know that's not your real name, but maybe you'll share with us later who you are. And my girl Zaria, hi you guys. Everybody's trickling in on the live. Those of you who are live, I want you to join my group, the Creative Love Collective, and I want you to join Armed Radio Group News so you can always know what we're up to. So, also you can call during the show, 1-800-508-5431, or if you're shy, you can email me at askforcandypodcast@gmail.com. So like I said, I'm Candace Harper, Love Coach. My talent is conversation. My passion is personal growth. My purpose is to teach and inspire radical self-acceptance in myself and in others so that we can all live our best possible love life. And what this show is about. Each week, we have lively conversations about different topics relating to love and relationships. Sometimes we bring on special guests or games and activities, and always we get a chance to laugh, cry, or just learn something new, and that is why this is a conversation. And I'm very happy to announce that this is a conversation that's going to be taking place every Monday night here at the V Club. Woo! Let me hear you, ladies. The ladies in the back, what happened to y'all? Yay! So that's why this is a conversation. We're not here to shame your love situation. Our only intention is to create audacious intimacy, seductive singlehoods, and healthy relationships. And tonight we're continuing my series, Falling in Love, the Era of New Beginnings. And tonight's topic, what men often want to know about women but are afraid to ask. I put together a list of questions that are a combination of questions that you guys sent me. I see Errol has joined. I see Valentino has joined. Hi guys, welcome. You guys sent me some questions. I also looked online. I wanted to see Reddit and things like that to see what guys were saying and what kinds of, comments y'all were coming up with. Some of y'all are a little crazy, but some of you actually had some really valid. Hi, William. William just joined. Some of you had some really valid questions. And so I have a bunch of ladies here who are sort of like a representation, a microcosm, if you will, of women in general, right? I think we have a nice range here. It's good. So I'm going to be just putting these questions out on the table, and I'm going to have my ladies here. And ladies, when you answer a question, or if you feel like a burning inspiration to answer a question, just say what your name is, when you're first answering, and then say whatever is on your heart. Okay? Is everybody cool with that?
Yes.
Yeah, say it out loud so the audio people can hear you. Yes. All right. Awesome. Who else just joined? Oh no, that was just William. Hi everybody. Listen, and also you guys that are on Facebook Live, feel free. You know that you can ask questions too. And Lee already said much love. He's sending love to everybody. Lee's very sweet. He's very handsome, by the way. He doesn't live in New York, but that's okay. We can always work out geography, right, Lee? All right. Are you ladies ready? I'm just going to put a question out there. And if you feel a burning inspiration, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what is on your heart. The first question is, do you want to be in a relationship? Radio silence. Who wants to answer that? If you want to or if you don't want to, you can jump in and say something about it.
I'm Laura.
Hi, Laura. Come on in, honey.
So this is an interesting question that I haven't really thought about as much as you think that I have. I've never been in like a long-term monogamous relationship in my life.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't. My quick answer is yes, but I feel like it's a lot more weedy than that.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Which I think is a beautiful thing. What were you going to say? Were you about to say something else?
Just that I generally would say, yes, I'd like to be in a relationship, but the right one.
Yes.
Not just any.
Like a healthy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No settling.
Right? Absolutely no settling. But also, too, just being good with being in the exploration, right? Mm-hmm. So we oftentimes feel like we have to have an answer for things. When a question is asked, we have to be definitive. We have to know. Sometimes the not knowing is the best place to be, or, you know, the trying to explore and see what it might be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, girl. This is a new age. We get to explore what we want. Does anybody else have anything to say about that? Whether they want? Amy, go ahead, girl.
I do, yeah. My name is Amy, and yes, I feel like I'm ready. I've done some soul searching, of course, and I'm ready to start.
I like that. Yes, honey. Amy's on it. She's like, I've been there. I've healed. I'm ready to move on to the next. I like it. Are we done with that one? Are we good? Is there anything anybody else is burning? Okay, all right. All right, here's the next one. What are you passionate about? That's a hard one. These ladies are like, I don't care if it's audio. I'm going to sit here and think and not say a word. What are you passionate about, ladies? I see, while you're thinking, I see that Michael and Kenny and Kat and Sarah and Lynette joined. What's up? We got ladies in the room tonight. I love that. Hi there. So you ladies can answer too. What are you passionate about? Those of you who are listening in. Lee Schultz says he's passionate about romance. I know you are too, honey. Passionate about romance. What are y'all passionate about? Guys, Jamie.
I am passionate about women feeling empowered and really accessing their wisdom, their insight, their intuition. I think that we need to do that more often, and I think encourage each other to do that as well, because I know, like, I'll say a little bit about my history. So I was in a very dysfunctional marriage, and I kind of lost my intuition during that time. And there was a quiet little voice inside saying, this isn't right, you know, and lots of other things. And I was just like, I'm not going to listen to them. And I just went on for several years being pretty miserable. And I saw one of my relatives after not seeing her for a long time, and we're very kindred spirits, and she said she was horrified when she saw me. She thought that my spirit looked very much not alive. So anyway, I got out of that marriage course and found my voice again, and I took a lot of healing, and you know, I'm still healing, but I'm in a really good place, and I just want that for everybody. I want to encourage women in particular to listen to themselves, because we have a lot inside of us already, and we have that wisdom. So that's what I'm passionate about.
That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Jamie. And it's what I really liked about what you said, and it so aligns with what I always say. I believe that our purpose is where our passions and our challenges meet. Our passions, talents, and challenges meet. So, you know, when we're clear on what we've overcome, and we feel like we can help other people with what we've overcome, that kind of speaks to, you know, our purpose and why we're even here. And that's why we had that challenge in the first place, because we were strong enough for it. Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. Anybody else want to talk about what they're passionate about? Amy, tell us, honey.
I agree with Jamie. I think having that passion, that fire within you to discover you. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all about, finding who you are and what you love that makes you want to wake up every day.
Yeah. What's that for you, Amy? Tell us, what do you love?
I love my children, my dog, and the 2 lizards. I care less than all.
I love it. And gorgeous jewelry, too. Those of you listening out in the audio world, Amy has on the most beautiful necklace.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah, no, it's good. Anyway, every now and then I have a little bit of fashion distraction. You just have to forgive me for that. Okay, so the next question. How would you want to be approached if a man found you highly attractive offline? Because now we're so used to this digital age, right? Where it's like, people slide into your DMs or whatever the kids are saying. So talk to me. And luckily I'm glad because I have some ladies who are of a younger age range. How would you want a man to approach you in this Me Too movement culture that we live in, where sometimes it can feel a little skeevy if a man doesn't approach you in the right way? If you meet somebody offline, what do you think is a good approach? Ladies? Hello. My lovely Annika.
Hello. Well, I mean, it's not that I don't believe in meeting someone online, but I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction and that I will meet someone at the right time in my life when I least expect it. So it's not that I'm all not for the online dating and things. I mean, I've tried Tinder before, but I've never been able to bring myself to fully meet up with the person on it. I deleted the app before. I'm like, okay, cool conversation. No, you know what? It's like an app. What? No.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any correct way to approach it. It's like I've had guys approach me one time at Chelsea Market, and this guy was like, "Hey, you're really tall." And I was the worst pickup line in the world because he was like, I'm used to being the tallest person in the room. And I was like, what are you, 6'1"? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's not very tall. I'm looking around, there's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
So you're not. Anyways, but I think it's
But did you go out with them?
No. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm like, I don't give out my number.
Yeah.
Not, or at least not to you. But the point is, I think when you meet someone that you're meant to meet, you don't have to think about how you're going to approach. You're going to accidentally bump into them and then be like, oh, sorry, I bumped into you. Then it's like, oh, hi, what's your name?
Yeah.
So I think if you plan out too much of how you're going to meet this right person or how you're going to approach someone at a bar or any type of place, you're overthinking it and you're not going to really attract the right person.
Yeah.
Versus if you walk into the bar, say, open-minded and I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I just know it's going to be an amazing night, you're going to meet someone that's going to make it an amazing night.
Yeah.
Versus when you think about it too much, you're not really attracting the right energy. And that's where I'm on dating apps, sure, you have a great, realistically, it's not going to be great, but a mediocre hookup, whatever, go for it. But in reality, you're not going to meet that person that you really want to meet because you're not really attracting the right.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That it's more difficult to attract energy online, you're saying? Ooh.
Yeah, so I think the best way to do it is
Wait, hold on, Annika. We have a caller. Hold on 1 second. Hello, welcome to Ask for Candy. Who's calling, please?
Hi, this is Zaria speaking.
Hi, Zaria. How are you, my love?
I am good.
Did you want to chime in on the question? Huh? You want to chime in?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, go ahead, honey. You're on the air.
Oh my gosh.
That's what happens.
Hi, I can hear you, but I think because I'm watching at the same time, there's a lapse. So I have to get off of it.
Okay.
So I can listen to you.
Okay.
But I'm here.
All right, but what did you want to say? Did you want to answer the question?
Yeah, I did want to answer the question.
Go ahead, darling. This is your moment.
Your question's relative to pretty much dating and how, as a woman, how I would like to be approached. And I definitely, I can't remember her name, but I see you in the back.
Annika.
Annika. Yes, I can definitely relate to the awkwardness of dating people online. But I do see a parallel universe where men usually approach women the same way they approach them online. like yesterday, this guy approached me and he wasn't really attentive to who I was. He was more so just trying to get my number. You know, he had like his goal of like, okay, you know what, she's pretty and I just want to talk to her. So I feel like for me, when a guy is approaching me, if he can come off as authentic as possible, just bringing his true self, and obviously with the intention of getting to know me, whether it be via him like being super funny or, you know, him like maybe he's shy or maybe he has something to offer, but more so like just trying to get to know me rather than it being like this is the end goal. I just want to fuck, or excuse my language.
It's okay, we say that right here.
Like I think you're pretty, and it ends there. You know, a lot of guys just kind of have that end goal, so it's a little off-putting.
Absolutely. And girls, I think both of you totally align in what I'm hearing. And guys, you should be listening to this. It's authenticity. Just come and be real, be yourself, be honest, right? You don't need a pickup line. You don't need any sort of like putting on airs. Would you agree, ladies? Annika and Zaria, and the ladies nodding your heads?
Yes. Like, we're not robots. You can talk to us like we're people.
Right? Absolutely. You don't need to put anything on. Thank you, Zaria. I love you, honey.
I love you too.
All right. I'm going to hang up, but you can always call back if you want to answer another question.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye. Say bye, B-Club. Bye. Zaria is my little adopted daughter. So who came in? We got Angela, Jeffrey joined, Sean, Alyssa. Lee Schultz says authenticity and substance. Thank you for that, Lee. See, Lee's a father of girls. And he has a daughter who's in college, and he's very good with communication with women. That's why he's sort of like my unofficial co-host. He always supports. He's supported since the beginning, and I have known Lee since I was 13. We went to middle school and high school together. So yeah, he's a good friend. All right, are we ready to move on to the next question? Of course, time is like whizzing by. All right, here's a good one. What would a man have to do, be, or have in order to inspire you to respect him? Ooh, now we're getting deep.
I know. No, you answered this one.
Huh? Who, Juliet?
Well, this is kind of building off of the last question also, but I think some sort of level of humbleness or just lack of entitlement, I find respectable or inspiring. I hate when you and they're like, what's your name? Lived here? Where are you from? Like they feel entitled to this information right now.
Yeah.
So I think if someone can sort of like approach you with some sort of caution, or like they show the respect and like, oh, is it okay that I'm talking to you? They give you the respect that they're not the only one that matters, and it's very important.
Oh, that's interesting, Juliet, because there's like a certain level of asking in that, right? Like if I want to talk to you, I want to get to know you, there's an asking in that. And I've also heard women say that they like a man who's really confident. So then what would be the balance between coming off confident and also being in an asking space? Because some women, they'll be like, oh, he asked me to kiss him and all of a sudden I was turned off. Do you know what I mean? So like,
I don't like that.
What do we think is the balance? The balance between, right?
I was like, are we 13?
But I mean, I get what Juliet's saying. Yeah. Like if you're, especially on the street, because then it can feel dangerous if someone is too like forceful. But like, what would you say to guys about anybody? How to strike a balance between coming up super confident and also, being in the asking and having it be a question. What do you guys think about that? What comes up?
Go
ahead.
Well, my first thought is just to approach the other person knowing and believing that you're both humans. You know? You don't approach them like they're a delicate flower and you have to like tiptoe around them, but you also don't approach them as like something that you have to like force to like you. Yeah. There's just that
middle ground.
Yeah. And if they turn you down, you don't react extremely in either way. You know?
Yeah. I like that. Anybody else? I saw some other hands. Go ahead, Dion.
I'm Dion. I think I'm on the path of impress me. You know, like,
Okay.
I need you to have some level of confidence. You don't have to be cocky because, you know, I am still a person, but I also want you to kind of approach me like I'm a goddess. What are your offerings? What do you have a life?
What are your offerings?
Right, like,
I am a goddess.
Exactly. Like, do you have a life plan? Are you just coming to me with absolutely nothing, or are you coming to me with a background of someone who has been preparing for the relationship of a lifetime?
Oh,
you know, like, don't come to me. It's like, well, I just started working yesterday and I saw you and I want to talk to you. No. You go talk to a teenager.
But wait a second, Dion. What if he just started working a really good job? What if he, you know, just got his career dream job and he's like,
if it's something like that, I didn't mean, I'm talking about, like, you know, somebody just came straight out of college and like started something that they really don't like, and they don't have anything to offer. Like, I feel like in a relationship, you should be trying to, you know, make me better, make me happier. Feel like, okay, I know that you're good where you are, but I can make your life better. Come into my space showing me that you can make my life better. If not, then don't bother, because I could be by myself and be the same.
That I've heard that. You know what? My mom used to always say that I can do bad by myself. What's her phrase? But here's the thing that really resonates with me about what you're saying is this thing where I feel like we have forgotten to be contributive. Oh, sorry, I keep poking you with my pen. Those of you who are listening, I keep poking Jamie with my pen. I don't mean to. I love her.
I love you.
But I think that we have forgotten as a society to be contributive when it comes to our relationships, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, or whatever. It's like they talk about, you know, coming 100% whole. The reason that you come 100% whole is so you can like spill over and contribute to whatever situation that you're in. So the idea here is that they come like ready to be contributive, not I'm checking you out to see if you can be my sugar mama.
Right.
Yeah. Any more than we should be doing that. Like, it's all about, you know, what am I bringing? What can I give? Right. To a relationship. Does anybody have anything else on what a man specifically should do, be, or have in order to gain your respect? Lee said something about, I believe your career is what you do, not who you are. That is very true, Lee. And he says, be the man you want your daughter to date. Yes. Mm-hmm. And if you're a man who doesn't have daughters, be the man that, I don't know. Be the man that you would want your imaginary daughter to date. You know.
I think the biggest thing, and going off everything said, is that the biggest thing is emotional intelligence. And it's recognizing if someone's on the street and look like they're in a hurry on their phone, you're probably not in the best spot to approach them because they're on their way to something.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's society, and it's not just men, but it's women and men that raise men to we do them a disservice by telling them at a young age that men don't cry. When we suppress one emotion from them, we don't realize that we suppress all of their emotions. And so many men that I have found have been raised in a way in America to suppress emotions to a level where they don't have emotions to recognize, this woman's in a hurry, maybe I shouldn't approach her. Or
empathy.
Reading a vibe that maybe my pickup line really put her off. And it's the inability to realize someone else's emotions and the vibe that they're giving off, to recognize it, that they don't get it. And so,
very right.
Yeah. The most intelligent thing a guy can have is emotional intelligence, and that takes being in tune with their own emotions and recognizing how their impact can impact someone else's day.
Absolutely. Yes. Cognizant, present.
Yes.
Like present. Being there with someone. So Zaria says, she's brilliant. Zaria loves you, Annika. I feel like you guys should meet and hang out. Mary Beth joined. Hi, Mary Beth. Lee says, it takes balance between personal and professional. When you see balance, you will likely see confidence. I like that, Lee. I think that's true. See, Lee kicking in for the men, too.
Yeah.
Lee's a good example. All right. So we ready to move on to the next question?
Sure.
What is something that you would want your partner to be passionate about? What do you think, ladies? Besides ourselves, Mary Beth says hi. Well, Amy, tell us. Their work?
Their work,
yeah. Like if he loves his job?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I think that's so important. You have to love what you do, regardless of how much you make. You have to really like what you do and be passionate about it.
Yeah. And also, there's something to be said for like that fulfillment that, I mean, all of us, right? When we love what we do, we were talking about that earlier. I forget who I was talking about it with, like being able to just get up in the morning and enjoy it and, you know, be in your passion and all of that. Like when you're that filled up, you're a much better person to be around as opposed to like, you know, with my parents' generation. I love you, mom and dad, if you're listening. I doubt you are, but if you're listening, my dad, when we were young, he was always working. He didn't love his work. He was always grouchy. So I think that's what happens to all of us, right? When we don't love what we do, that's how we show up in our relationships, as someone who's not loving what we do, not completely loving ourselves, not giving ourselves good self-care. So yeah, that's a good one. Like when I love what I do and what I get up in the morning for, whether I make a lot of money or not, that's a side thing. But when I love it, I love it. I'm a much better person to be in a relationship with. Anybody else have a particular passion you'd want your partner to have?
I want them to be just like I'm passionate about helping women to get comfortable in their femininity in order to be the best person that they can be. I want a man that's also passionate about teaching men about how important their masculinity is and the healthy masculinity. Not like the pretend God complex kind, where it's like, I'm this great person, but it's like you're actually crap on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, showing them that you need to respect women and that woman is the one that makes the choice. You don't make the choice. Because most of these marriages that have people been together for like 40 plus years, and the man in their head, they think that they're the ones who chose the women. They're just like, no, I chose you. Okay, I saw you across the room, gave you the eye contact, smiled, and you've chased me for 45 years. You know, that's what I have seen have been the healthiest relationships. Yeah. And I was reading a book last night, and one of the lines, the woman was saying, my mom, she was like in her 50s, and she was like, her mom always told her, marry someone that loves you more than you love them as a woman. Because we're the ones who end up doing the most in the marriages and the relationships anyway. Like, let's say we both work, but the women are the ones who still take care of the kids, still do a lot of the housework, the cooking and everything. So we have two jobs while they have one. So you need to find someone that doesn't want you to have two jobs and just wants you to pick one and do that and be happy with that, and then he'll take care of the rest.
Or is willing to share it all with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you can split it. I'm not about splitting, but but if that is what that woman wants, then that's perfectly fine. Yeah. You know, as long as she's happy. I'm about the woman being happy first, and then the man is
I hear that, Dion.
happy.
I definitely hear that.
I'm sorry.
Dion is about the woman being happy first. If y'all didn't hear that, you heard it now.
Everybody's like, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
I've heard that too.
And that's true.
Yeah.
So,
but what I'm getting out of what you're saying, like that's sticking out the most, is that you're talking about a man who is a leader among men. Yes. There's nothing sexier, gentlemen, than a man who is a leader among, and I don't mean the boss. I don't mean the dickhead who's telling everybody what to do. A leader, right? Like can stand in his own.
Want to follow him.
Yes.
Not that you have to inspire fear in those people. They see you and they like, he's so successful, he's so inspirational. I have to follow him because I know that following him leads to success. Yeah. That's the kind of man that I want to be with.
I like that. Yeah, honey. Now I see who else joined. Michelle, my sister. Hi, sister. And Beth Rooney, my sister from another mister. Hi, girls.
Can I respond to that?
Please get in there, Jamie. Go ahead, honey.
So for every question you're asking, of course, I'm thinking about my love, my fiance.
Wait, can I just tell them the news first?
Yeah.
Jamie got engaged today. Woo! Go ahead, honey.
Yeah, I got a good one.
Yeah.
I found a treasure, and he is very passionate about personal growth and bettering himself and understanding, his stuff. And I respect that so much in him. He is maybe the first man I've ever met who really takes responsibility for his own stuff and never, ever puts it on me, which I think is amazing. I think it's amazing for any individual to have that, insight, and also just, strength to be able to say, okay, this is my part, and, I'm going to take responsibility for this, and I'm wrong. He's like the best communicator when it comes to, everything, but especially, when he knows he's, at fault, or when it's something that he's work on, he owns that very strongly. And I'll tell you what, it makes my work in the relationship so much easier. I do believe any good relationship requires work. I think that a lot of people might believe that, because, you found your match, you can just kind of sit back and relax and enjoy the ride, and that's really not how it goes. Especially if you want to keep growing together. And my partner and I, we go to couples counseling together, and we started going even, in the honeymoon phase of our relationship, and it's been probably the best investment I've ever made. And I learned my lesson, first time around, mentioned before, but this one, he's willing to do that work. And so going back to the question, I think being passionate about personal growth and learning about yourself and developing your emotional intelligence, right, I think is super key.
Yeah. I love that. I think that way, what did Lee say? Relationships are a partnership. I love the idea of finding a man who loves so much. Yeah, absolutely. But passionate about personal growth. I think anybody that you find for romantic reasons or friendship reasons, family reasons, when you have someone who is passionate about growing themselves, no matter where they are in their journey, you're going to have a great situation, a great experience with someone who wants to grow, right? And it's the willingness too, if you're in a relationship with somebody, it's the willingness to also, be passionate about personal growth yourself and allow that person to be on their journey wherever they are. As long as they want to do it. If they're, as long as they want to grow, what is it Tony Robbins says, you're either growing or you're dying. So the want to grow is a big deal. You listen. I hope you're listening, gentlemen. You got to want to grow. You can't just be sitting around with your hand down your pants eating pizza. Right? It's true. Is that not true? Right? That's what some of them want to do. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to go to the next question? I blew it out back then. I blew your mind. We have to tell Julissa. Julissa came in. I might have you answer a question, Julissa. Okay. Since you back there, you feeling emotions. You have to get in on that. All right. So the next question is, what are the best kinds of early date activities to help you get to know a potential partner? What are some things you ladies like to do if you're going to go out with somebody? Besides just, there's always the let's go to dinner and sit across from each other and feel pressure and judge each other. There's always that. But Amy, tell us.
Adventures.
Yes,
I
honey.
love adventures.
Like what kind? Tell us.
They could be anything.
Like whitewater rafting? Like what are we doing?
Whitewater rafting, jet skiing, living in Manhattan, museums, different types of food, rope climbing, trapeze. There's so many fun things to do in the city. But anything that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone. I feel like it really tests somebody, tests you to see how you both work together.
Absolutely. I love that. Because, when people, they start to feel away. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever gone on a workout thing with somebody, and if it's too hard, that's when people get cranky. So you can see on a first date, if you do something challenging like that and someone starts to feel challenged, whether their monster is going to come out, if they feel if they feel confronted by whatever they're doing. Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
I had a friend go to an escape room for the
I
first
love
date,
those. Yeah.
And I thought that was so funny. Yeah, she found the guy, he worked well with her, but he had a temper, not with her, but he was a fire sign. And so when they can't figure stuff out, they kind of lose their minds a little bit, and they're just little tick tick boom. She was like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. But she's a very grounded person, so she can handle someone like that. It was just the stories are really funny. Yeah. For me, I'm all about teaching me something that I didn't know. I like someone that I want someone that I can follow, someone that is a good leader, overall, someone that I want to follow, because I'm kind of a know-it-all. So if you can teach me something, I'm going to be oh, yeah, he's hot. I can deal with that. And you know, teaching mix a little bit of romantic stuff. I'm very old school. So like if you come with like one of those ridiculous bouquets of flowers,
you love it. Wait, give us an example. Have you ever been on a date where somebody like actually taught you how to do something or taught you something where you were like, oh wow, like blew your mind?
I went on a date with like this much older guy. It was like I was my last night in DC, and he saw me and he was like, no, I really want to take you on a date. And so he basically his father was a diplomat, and so he had spent his whole life traveling and everything. So he was just like, pick a country, any country, and I'll like tell you like about the music and the food and all this other stuff. And it was really nice because I really want to travel. That's not something that I got to do in my life, and that is something that I'm like so excited about getting to do. So I'm like, where should I go first? Just tell me what's like the best place to go first, and give me like a list, and I will listen to you because you've been to all these places several times. He's lived in so many different countries, and that was a really exciting night for me. Like, you know, I left him in DC, but it was a great night.
You had a good time. So he had a knowledge base. So gentlemen, like it's good to know a little something about something. Lee says, relationships are a partnership. I love the idea of finding a man who, I already read that one. And Lee wrote, I don't eat pizza. Okay, honey. Sure you don't. You're from Pennsylvania. Of course you eat pizza. Like here's the thing. You want to be knowledgeable about something, right? And it goes back to the personal growth thing. When we're passionate about knowing something, growing ourselves, that sort of thing, it's like read books and things like that. If you want to be able to connect with people and teach them something. Simple stuff, but it works, obviously, right? All right. Anybody else have anything on that? Date activities, or should we move on to the next question? How are we feeling? I love you ladies are very intense. I love it. It's good. All right. So here's the next question. Often women have the reputation that we don't know what we want. Question is, do you know what you want? And that's just a question to the room. And like we talked about earlier, it's okay to be anywhere you want in your journey. There's no pressure to know what you want. But does anybody want to speak on knowing what they want? Dion, I know, girl, you know what you want.
I think everyone has got a gist of exactly what I want already. Yeah. It's like, have you guys took notes? Great.
Right? Be taking notes. Annika, I see you raising your hand back there.
I mean, now this is the exact opposite of knowing what you want, but I think that it's when you it's like when you focus on yourself and you know what you want for just yourself, you focus on your career, you focus on this, and on the topic of knowing what you want in a relationship, I don't think anyone knows what they want until they're in one and they realize what they don't want. And they realize maybe this is a quality within this person that I didn't see it before. But you can't know, if you create a checklist for what you want in a relationship, you're never going to find it. Because you're going to go through and be like, no, that person doesn't have that. No. And you're going to skip through people that could teach you amazing lessons. But they don't check something on your list. You skip through it. So I don't think you ever, it's like you can't tell the future, so how can you? Not. All you can do is accept a relationship as what it is and realize if you like it or if you don't. And so I think it's like you can't ever really know what you want in a sense, but if you follow the path, I think like focusing on yourself and realizing when you are 100% happy with yourself of what you are doing with your day-to-day life, then you will meet someone within your life that doesn't add your happiness, doesn't subtract, but it complements your happiness. And you realize that like, wow, I thought like I was good on my own, but I realized that maybe I'm better with that person, you know? It's not that they fulfill a void that you're missing. It's not that they, you're searching for something, but it's that like, you're good on your own and you're like, I'm content with it. And then you're like, wait, you know what? I could be better with this other person. And that's when you'll like add those qualities that will make your life that you thought was at 100% to like 150.
Yeah, no, that's great, Annika. And there's two really great things that I think you touched on. The one of them is the when you have different relationships, or as you're growing up, or conditioning or whatever, when we learn what we don't want, that is actually the avenue to what we want. And you're right in the sense that having a checklist does not work. But what does really work is being purpose driven. Like when we know who we are, accept who we are, we admire our own strengths and we forgive ourselves for our weaknesses, and we're in that place, then we can attract someone who aligns with that. So it's about being purpose driven, definitely. But I think the question too speaks to this idea that women can't achieve clarity, which I argue that because I believe, like what you were saying, Annika, when you are clear about who you are, you're very I know you and I have a little bit of an age difference. Ooh, a little bit of as I throw my pen at you. We have a little bit of an experience difference. I promise I wasn't being aggressive. We have a little bit of an experience difference and an age difference, but there's something to be said for, as you grow into and know who you are more and more, and we're all on our different journeys when it comes to that, then you get really crystal clear about what you do want. And if someone asks you, it may not be a checklist, but it's like, I'm so clear that he's got to be compassionate. I'm so clear that he's got to be someone who contributes to the world. So clear that he's got to be clear and love himself and be purposeful and all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Which I guess sounds like a checklist. But
I guess it's not much of a checklist. It's like a mental checklist, yes, but it's like, I'm not asking you, are you purposeful in your life? Mm-hmm. But more so, I'm like, I'm not going to ever ask what you're passionate about, what this. But I'm more so going to ask you questions that I'm going to interpret. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to fill out my checklist. Like, you said this. I realize you are really passionate about this. You your friends this way, that I see that you are super charismatic towards your friend this way. So it's less about what you say to that person that you're dating, but more about the actions that you take in your day-to-day life. Yeah. That you fill out that checklist or whatever type of checklist you have that way. It's like people can talk all action, but it's about actually when you see them with their friends, or what you see their day-to-day life is, or the way that they energize their emotions, is when you're like, okay, I see that you're actually really charismatic, or I see that you put off really that you're really strong, but when you get into this situation, you're really not strong. You fall apart. But that's where then you can be like, you know what, I'm down to step in and help you. Yeah. Because you have these type of things that I really value. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think what you're talking about too is actions aligning with words. Like if you speak it and you do it, then that's everything. That's integrity. Right. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
And it takes a while to get to know someone. You have to give it some time to really get to know. And you're constantly getting to know, someone, because we're all evolving every day, every moment. But I think it does take some in the field research, right? Some real time spent with someone to really fully get a clear picture about what it is they have to offer and what values line up with yours and all of that. I think just for me, I had some rough relationships that taught me a lot, and there might be an easier way. There might, if you do the work with yourself first and go out there and, kind of tackle the dating scene in a more intentional way, maybe that would be, a quicker route to success as far as relationships go. But sometimes you got to do a lot of trial and error and really figure things out as you go. Relationships can be very complex, but yeah.
Yes, honey. Thank you, lady. Who's joining now? So Maria joined, Sandy joined, Kevin and Tom. What's up, people? This is really first of all, it's whizzing by and we've only gotten halfway through the questions, but I just want to acknowledge all you ladies for a second, because you just have shown up so beautifully. And I love how just heart-filled and expressive you've been. And we still got some time to continue to be heart-filled and expressive. We still got more questions. So stay with me. Drink some more wine. Sandy says, life is ever evolving with current partners and also everyday friends. It's important to have a strong sense of self, work towards your dreams. Absolutely, Sandy. Thank you for that. Absolutely. And that's what it always, I mean, Annika, you were talking about that earlier. Like this idea of a sense of yourself and loving yourself. It's like you can't say it enough. And it sounds cliche because we've been saying it throughout the ages, but a lot of times, we don't really understand what that means or how to do it or, so you can't talk about it enough. It can't be enough in the conversation, right? The only avenue to a healthy relationship is coming 100% whole. Are we ready for the next question, ladies? Yeah. All right. Okay. What's something that you wish that men knew when it comes to intimacy? Ooh. Well, whatever you want to interpret it as. So intimacy, to me, intimacy is like beyond the sexual, the physical. Intimacy, into me see, like they say in the personal growth world, right? Like I'm completely authentic, you're completely authentic, we see each other. So what is it you wish men knew about that? Yes, Jaleisha. Tell us, honey. Come on, girl.
I would say that foreplay doesn't necessarily require nudity. Like that it starts far, far before you even kiss. And I think that it's constricted to, like it's like expands, slow it down. And it can be something as simple as massaging my scalp. Like
I love that. No, thank you for that, Jaleisha. And some people say it starts like from when you wake up in the morning, right? Like how you treat me, how sweet you are with me, whether we have intellectual conversation. Some people are very sapiosexual. They want an intellectual conversation. For women, I feel like foreplay can go all day, right? Who else?
I like the midday, like, oh, it's lunchtime. Let's start doing our text flirting.
Okay.
And so, because I've read like hundreds of books, and I'm a very wordy person. So if you can come at me just a little bit poetic, come with just a little bit of swag, and through those text messages, and I was like, what are you trying to get into? Like you start off that, and then I'm just like, ooh, like I love the anticipation building, like that. Start me, and of course, like start in the morning, be nice and everything, and then just like start that flirting in the middle of the day when you hit like that midday crash from your coffee, and it was like, pick me up again through these text messages, and then I'll meet you at home. We're gonna be ready.
Are you hearing this, fellas? So what I'm here is get women revved up, right? And it does, like Jaleisha says, it doesn't have to be nude. It could be some like nice text messages, a little poetry, right? What else, ladies, about the intimacy you wish they knew? Go ahead, Amy.
The small gestures count.
Yeah.
It's kind of what everyone's kind of iterating. It's, all the small, being nice, sweet messages, all these things that lead up to the moment.
Pouring some coffee, maybe.
Yeah.
And
appreciate each other.
Yeah. Go ahead, sweetie.
I mean, I think that's such a difficult question because I think there's.
Sure.
I mean, you talk about intimacy with a partner in which you really love on like a intimate level where like I trust you with my life type of thing, where like I love you, let's share all our emotions. And then you have that intimate partner where it's like, all right, take off your clothes, let's get down to it. So
what is it? What's resonating with you? Like when you think of the word intimacy, what comes up first for you? Is it the...
I mean, I would say when I think of intimacy, I think of sex, but that's because we live in like a society where we're so sexualized with everything. But then also you think of true intimacy, they say it's just feeling comfortable sitting there with your partner where you're comfortable and you feel that love of connection. With clothes on, just sitting there watching a movie. Yeah. So I think more the question is like, it's more what do you define real intimacy as, and that's where you find a partner that aligns with.
So you want men to know, to define the question, figure out what intimacy is to them.
I guess so, yeah, because I think intimacy is like, going back to EQ, emotional intelligence, is realizing that you and that partner have the same level of intimacy with each other. Because I think you can have partners of different levels in different variations of intimacy. Where you're going to find that one partner where you're going to be like, I've never felt such an intimacy on an emotional level. And then you're going to find that partner where you're like, I've never found that intimacy on a sexual level. And it's all about exploring until you find that right intimacy where you're like, I've never found this intimacy with everything.
Like all in one. That all in one intimacy.
Yeah,
right?
It's a hard question because there's various levels.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I want to get a couple more questions in and I'm like looking at the clock. All right. We're good on intimacy, right?
Yeah.
All right. What's something, ladies, you find really difficult to talk about with men? Masculinity. Interesting, Juliet. Tell us a little bit.
I just think that men about their masculinity or habits that they've been social. Socialization, maybe. If it's prioritizing the biological thing, I don't know what order that is. I think we'll have different opinions. I think it's definitely important to share, but
They're vulnerable in their masculine. Like, I help to teach women to be vulnerable in your femininity. Men need to do that too. Like, it's what you are, and it's supposed to be natural to you, and it doesn't have to be offensive to women. You know, like you can be masculine and it's healthy. It doesn't.
So that's some good stuff that Juliet and Dion just gave us, men, about your masculinity and being comfortable enough to talk about it and share about it and express about it and be okay with it, even though we don't come from a society that conditions men to be good with their masculinity. But go ahead.
Maybe that's even being able to come forward and say like, oh, I'm a man and I'm not that masculine. Comfortable, my like level of comfort with
and being able to get okay with that and self-accepted about that. I love that. Thank you, Juliet. So Zaria says, I think it's important for people to learn that intimacy, or this is back to the intimacy, isn't always duplicatable. What works or worked well with one partner will not work for all. Think languages. Some speak Spanish, some speak French. But if we ignore that a language barrier is present, geez, Zaria, you wrote us a whole treatise here. We will struggle to understand each other. Intimacy does not embody selfishness. We have to be aware of each other in order to be present with what our partner needs. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Zaria. Lee says, romance is a lost art. The little things are important. I'm taking notes. Tell me more, Lee says, about things that we were saying, ladies. So Juliet touched on something really, really important about masculinity and, you know, just our energy in general and being okay with that and being comfortable with talking about it. And I think, too, sometimes it's like, you know, when we're conditioned to feel a certain way, those are the things we get defensive about. And we don't even realize it. It's our shame that's coming up. You know, usually something from the past, some shame that we had. Someone made us feel shameful about it. And so then we grow up, you know, not wanting, like Dion said, not wanting to be vulnerable about it. So just something to explore, gentlemen, something to think about. I don't know how this happened, like serendipity, like Jamie likes to use that word, and I love that she says serendipity. We got like the most amazing ladies for the podcast tonight, and I'm so excited about that. Now we're running low on time. I do want to tell you guys, you know, like I said, I'm coming live from the V Club, which the V Club has all sorts of classes and things like that both men and women can take, right? That are coming up. Tell us a little bit.
I'm an educator here at the V Club, and we have 3 master classes that are offered for women right now, but we are developing classes that men will be invited to and also couples. So we're expanding, and we have plenty of events though at night that are co-ed, and it's kind of a great date night to come and hear a talk on, whatever it might be. Tomorrow night we're having a talk on monogamy, polyamory, monogamish, those relationship styles. And we bring in, here at the V Club, we bring in a lot of different experts in the field. So Candace is one of them. We love her. And so, so if you have any suggestions or any desires, we'd love to hear from you. We actually hear from a lot of men who are interested in taking classes. So we're in the process of developing some really good master classes for you too.
Yay! Thank you, Jamie. And like Jamie said, I'm teaching a class on October 25th. It's called Peace, Purpose, and Partnership, right? And it's all about getting peaceful and discovering your purpose and aligning your partnerships with your purpose and finding supportive love, right? So ladies, thank you so much. I want to acknowledge everybody by name: Dion, Laura, Juliet, Annika, Amy, and Delisha, and Jamie of the V Club. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me and being game and just being like authentic, saying what's on your mind and being here for it. I love you for that. Thank you so much. And what else did I want to tell you? So on the 25th, if you're in the tri-state area, come and take my class, Peace, Purpose, and Partnership. And for the people who are in the armed, right? Like right here. For the people who are in the armed radio global world, just in case you guys sign off, I know sometimes you guys go off a little bit early. Never forget that you are a love machine. If you ever start to feel like you're not getting enough, just make more. So that's in case you guys get signed off while we're still talking. We've been poked. We got 1 minute left. So I want to give all the ladies a chance. If there's anything that's burning within you, anything that you're feeling, anything that you want to say so that we're complete with the conversation, any love you want to give the people out there, who wants to do it? Who wants to say something? Say goodbye to armed radio.
I want to say, I think a lot of us here believe in authenticity. So if every individual could work on getting closer to their authenticity on the daily, I think that would really heal a lot of relationships and love and any blocks that we have as a human race.
Yay! Oh, I love that, Jamie. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So I want to acknowledge the people who are on the Facebook Live. I see Roy joined us. Lee, as always, thank you for participating and being on point with the commentary. Kevin and Sandy, who I think I said hello to, Tom, all you guys who came in. Don't forget to smash the likes and the loves and the reactions, because we always love that. And don't forget to share. And I think that's it. What do we want to say? Come to happy hour every Monday night from 7 to 9. We're going to be coming through live. If you guys get here at 7 o'clock, we start drinking. And then at 8 o'clock, we go live and we have a good time.